Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Paolo Pulingue. Benvenuti nella giungla dei graffiti. This is Tangential Thoughts Chat Show, Pensieri Tangentiali, a podcast sweet cigar, cigar top podcast. Sono il tuo capo, Gihareh. I'm your chief, Gihareh. So, it was nice. I went in there, thought about it, went around for a bit. Now, I said, how much does it cost for a box of cigars? Do I just take how many cigars are in there and the price of it and multiply that? The price of each individual cigar. How many cigars are in the box? And multiply it. So yeah. You get 10% off though. But not that cheap shit. Them $4-5 sticks, pay for that as is. They already cheap enough. That would have been a box of 25. So that would have been 25 times 5, that would have been 125 for 25 cigars. I thought about it. And then I said, the pipe kind of expensive, man. You know, I fuck with it. Yeah, we got to talk about it. I fuck with it. You know, I prefer a bent stem over a straight stem. Now, as I looked at the cigar pipes, you got a selection. So what choice do you make? The one that called out to me. Thank you. Just gotta let you know. That pipe dope. So I said the pipe is expensive, man. Does it come with some free tobacco? So I'm gonna hook you up. Got you. Gave me 2.5 ounces. We're still working on that though. We got 2.5 ounces. Now, I didn't know it at the time. I just looked at the cigar pipe. I was like, in comparison to my other cigar pipes, here's my first original corn cob. And then, if I can find it wherever it's supposed to be at. Oh, here it is. Still got some in it. Oh shit, did you make a P.O. box yet? I got some shirts. I might be willing to send you your way. Damn, I ain't get one yet. I ain't get one yet. So, we got the Italy pipe. We have the original corn cob, and now we got this cigar pipe. Now, outside of how cool it looks, I just grabbed it, right? I was like, this is, if I look at all the cigar pipes, this is the one I want. The interesting thing about it was, the camera's not going to do it justice, but it does have some writing on it. I try to do better in front of whatchamacallit in the videos, but it has some writing on it. On this side, it says Peterson, Dublin. Cigar pipe was made in Ireland. Then on this side, yeah, it says made in Ireland and it says 65. It says made in Ireland, 65. Now, what does it say right here? It says Dracula. So right here, it says Dracula on the cigar pipe, and I've just been reading Dracula. Now, you know how sometimes, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Thank you, thank you. All right, bet. You know I'll make a video for that. I'll make a video for that. Now, this is the most expensive cigar pipe I have ever had. To date. As of today's date. And I pumped 2 bowls in it. It's still pretty smooth. I have to be honest though, right? I have to be honest. I'm not gonna hide it. I don't wanna hide it. I just got it. I puffed 2 bowls in it. This is the most expensive cigar pipe I have ever bought. After 2 bowls, it started to bubble up on the side. It started to bubble up on the side. So I have to be honest, and for the price of it, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable for after 2 bowls. You might give it a pass after when you lose count of how many bowls you had in it. But the fact that I can say I had 2 bowls. I had 2 bowls and then it starts to look like this. That makes me a little bit upset. Now, the other thing is, as you're looking at it, it did not come with this. It did not come with this part right here. And so, but this is something I'm appreciative for. So I got the cigar pipe. He was like, all right, gave me some 2.5 ounces. 2.5 ounces of peach cobbler. He's like, what you want to try? I said, whatever you're willing to give. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a new cigar pipe. So 2.5. Also, right when I was about to light it up, you can watch in the video, he was like, here. Instead of, I was about to use these matches, I was about to use those matches, he was like, I'm gonna give you these right here. You know what I'm saying? So these are some other matches. You see Eduardo Leon, Fernando Leon, Guillermo Leon. On the back, 120th anniversary, La Aurora. Now I have had one, I've literally maybe had one. Maybe a couple, maybe a few more. But this is their matches. Now, you know, it's just matches, right? Like, does it matter the presentation? For them to have had their pictures and everything, the presentation. Now, these are brown. This is my first time having some brown ones. I've had some blue. Those are white. I've had black, but these are brown. These are brown. So, y'all can see this car that just did a whole circle around my car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill it back up. It's still pretty smooth. But I guess now it has character, right? And I'm glad I recorded a video. The video could have maybe been a bit clearer, but at least I got a bowl. I got a video when I first got it and how it looked before it started gaining this character. I mean, besides, right? Yeah, you got a new cigar pipe, but do you want it to look new? Nah, I guess you want it to look a little bit used, but you still want it to look smooth. I don't know. It's things like that. It has a little character to it now. So I'm gonna just load it up. I'm not gonna say it's a particularly deep bowl, but I know that I can fit my thumb in there. So, oh, this part. I didn't even know. He was like, you want some cigar tips? I was like, you want some pipe tips? I was like, I don't even know what that is. Now, if you have a weak stomach, it's not that dramatic, but now my Italy pipe, because of what it's made of or whatever, this doesn't particularly show like this. That's what I have to compliment this one. It doesn't show like bite marks. However, you can see You can't see bite marks on this. Or, you know what I'm saying? It looks crazy. It looks crazy. So now, one thing to, if you have a habit of biting your cigar pipe, there's this tip right here. And that is really cool. That's really cool and interesting. I didn't know what it was going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put it up there, and then you're like, it's pretty cool. It's not that bad. Not that bad. So, I don't even remember where we left off on Dracula. I don't think I'm going to finish it before I have to turn it in. But I don't remember where we left off. I'm trying, do I need you? I'm gonna just use two. Still a cool pipe. I know right now we're reading an exchange of letters between Mina and Lucy. The one girl has been proposed to 3 times in one day. She told the first 2 no, but she kissed that second no. The second dude that proposed to her, she kissed him. And then there was a series of letters between some other people, and they're going to have some type of gathering. I think that's why I left off. At least, thank goodness, that was easy. Page 64, chapter 6. 24 July. Whitby. Lucy met me at the station looking sweeter and lovelier than ever. This is Mina Murray's. Mina Murray. I don't know why when I'm reading this word Murray, I be wanting to say Murray. Lucy met me at the station looking sweeter and lovelier than ever, and we drove into the house at Crescent, in which they have rooms. I do remember this part. This is a lovely place. The little river, the S, runs through a deep valley which broadens out as it comes near the harbor. A great viaduct runs across with high piers through which the view seems somehow further away than it really is. The valley is beautifully green. And it is so steep that when you are on the highland, on either side you look right across it, unless you are near enough to see down. The houses of the old town, the side away from us, are all red roof and seem piled up one over the other anyhow, like the pictures we see of Nuremberg. Right over the town is the ruin of Whitby Abbey. which was sacked by the Danes and which is the scene of part of Marmion, where the girl was built up in the wall. It is a most noble ruin of immense size and full of beautiful and romantic bits. There is a legend that a white lady is seen in one of the windows. Between it and the town, there's another church, the parish one, round which is a big graveyard, all full of tombstones. This is to my mind the nicest spot in Whitby, for it lies right over the town and has a full view of the harbor and all up the bay to where the headland called Kettleness stretches out into the sea. It descends so steeply over the harbor that part of the bank has fallen away and some of the graves have been destroyed. In one place, part of the stonework of the graves stretches out over the sandy pathway far below. Yeah, in one place, part of the stonework of the graves stretch out over the sandy pathway far below. There are walks with seats beside them through the churchyard, and the people go and sit there all day long, looking at the beautiful view and enjoying the breeze. I shall come and sit here very often myself and work. Indeed, I am writing now with my book on my knee and listening to the talk of 3 old men who are sitting beside me. They seem to do nothing all day but sit up here and talk. The harbor lies below me, with on the far side one long granite wall stretching out into the sea, with a curve outwards at the end of it, in the middle of which is a lighthouse. A heavy seawall runs along outside of it. On the near side, the seawall makes an elbow crooked inversely, and its end, too, has a lighthouse. Between the two piers, there is a narrow opening into the harbor, which then suddenly widens. It is nice at high water, but when the tide is out, it shows away to nothing, and there is merely the stream of the Esk, running between banks of sand with rocks here and there. Outside the harbor on this side, there rises for about half a mile a great reef, the sharp edge of which runs straight out from behind the south lighthouse. At the end of it is a buoy with a bell, which swings in bad weather and sends in a mournful sound on the wind. They have a legend here that when a ship is lost, bells are heard out at sea. I must ask the old man about this. He is coming this way. He is a funny old man. He must be awfully old, for his face is gnarled and twisted like the bark of a tree. He tells me that he is nearly 100 and that he was a sailor in the Greenland fishing fleet when Waterloo was fought. He is, I am afraid, a very skeptical person, for when I asked about the bells at sea and the white lady at the Abbey, he said brusquely. Brusquely. I wouldn't fesh myself about them, miss. Them things be all wore out. Mind, I don't say that they never was, but I do say that they wasn't in my time. They be all very well for comers and trippers and the like, but not for a nice young lady like you. Them feet folks from York and Leeds that be always eating curd herrings and drinking tea and looking out to buy cheap jet would creed aught. I wonder myself, who'd be bothering telling lies to them? Even the newspaper, which is full of fool talk. I thought he would be a good person to learn interesting things from, so I asked him if he would mind telling me something about the whale fishing in the old days. He was just settling himself to begin when the clock struck 6, whereupon he labored to get up and said, I must gang agin words home now, miss. My granddaughter doesn't like to be kept waiting when the tea is ready, for it takes me time to cramble aboon degrees, for there be a many of them, and miss, I lack belly timber sirely by the clock. He hobbled away, and I could see him hurrying as well as he could down the steps. The steps are a great feature of the place. They lead from the town up to the church. There are hundreds of them. I do not know how many. And they wind up in a delicate curve. The slope is so gentle that a horse could easily walk up and down them. I think they must originally have had something to do with the abbey. I shall go home too. Lucy went out visiting with her mother, and as they were only duty calls, I did not go. Lucy went out with her mother, and as they were only duty calls, I did not go. They would be home by this. Apparently the book has a typo. Somebody crossed it out and put 25 July. The book says 1 August, but then you know it's clearly not 1 August because the next entry says 5 June, so it's not 1 August. I guess they just put the next day. Whoever had this book just wrote, I guess they just put the next date. Okay, we're on page 66. We're on page 66. We're on page 66. I was trying to figure out if I finish this. With a new cigar pipe, there's only one more thing to do. I made a video of it. No. I don't want you to know me and who I am and where I come from and where I plan to go. They say you have to watch who's trying to study you because you may be educating your enemy. There are people who will envy you and be jealous of you because they want to be in the same position. They want your life. They want to be like you. They want to be where you are. And you could tell them exactly. You be sitting there telling them how to take your spot. I just watched a video of Cash Doll saying that. I think one of your goals should be to get to a point in life where you don't have to introduce yourself anymore. You don't have to tell your life story. There's still more tobacco to be burned. But I think that's my fault, though. It does still have great intake. I was about to say, which one the new bag, which one the old bag? Well, at least this makes it a little bit easier. All I have to do now is this the old bag, this the new bag. Put the old on top of the new. Now we have about 5 ounces.